What would you do if you received this proposal? Suppose you are planning a vacation trip to Europe. You have already narrowed your choices to Rome or Paris. The travel agent presents you with the vacation package for each city, which includes airfare, hotel accommodations, sightseeing tours, and a free breakfast every morning. The options are 3 days in Rome for $2,000 or 5 days in Paris for $4,000. Which one do you choose? I think we spent some time and effort to decide which option will suit you best, right? Rome has the Colosseum, Paris has the Louvre. Then the agent offered you a third option, 2 days in Rome plus 5 days in Paris for $4,000. As much as you still need to think a little about the options, probably the second option will be easily discarded. And option 3 is already starting to draw attention. So what is going on here? Why does it seem that if you choose option 1, you will be losing an opportunity? And why does it seem that if you choose option 3, it's almost like you are gaining one of the options practically free? In this video, we will talk about the impact of relativity on our decision-making process. Hey guys, I'm Money here, welcome to Practical Knowledge. Most of the things I'll cover today are from the book Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely. In his book, Ariely conducted a similar study that we described earlier. I'll show you. In his experiments, the offer was a journal subscription and was in these terms. An internet-only subscription for $59, a print subscription for $125, and a print and online subscription for $125. He gave these options to 100 students at MIT's Sloan School of Management, and they opted as follows. For internet-only subscription, 16 students. For print-only subscription, none. For print and internet subscription, 84 students. As none of the students opted for the second option, Ariely thought that it wouldn't make a difference and ran the experiment one more time, removing this option, since in theory it shouldn't affect the results. But to his surprise, the results worked. For internet-only subscription, 68 students. For print and internet subscription, 32 students. What could have possibly changed their minds? Nothing rational, I assure you. It was the mere presence of a decoy that sent 84 of them to the print and internet option, and 16 to the internet-only option. And the absence of a decoy had them choosing differently, with 32 for print and internet and 68 for internet only. So this is important to understand our decision-making behavior. We rarely choose things in absolute terms because we don't have an internal value meter that tells us how much things are worth. Instead, we focus on the relative advantage of one thing over another and estimate the value accordingly. For example, we may not know whether a Rome trip is worth $2,000, but we certainly know that a trip to Rome plus Paris is better than a Paris trip only for the same price. It is difficult to know the real price of a subscription, a washing machine, a bicycle, or even a cup of tea if we don't have a comparison. We don't know how much a 42-inch TV costs, but we can surely assume it's more expensive than a 36-inch TV. Another example of how we put things into perspective is given by the following situation. Imagine that you are going to buy a pizza and when you are at the store, you see that it will cost you 20 bucks. When you're set to order, you see an offer on your social media telling you that another store is offering pizza of the same quality, but it's on sale for 10 bucks. That store is 15 minutes away. What would you do? Do you decide to take the 15-minute trip to buy pizza for the half of the price? I'll give you 3 seconds to answer. What is your answer? Okay, most people faced with this dilemma say that they would take the trip to save this money. Now let's change something. You're going to buy a new car, and you find a nice one for $30,000, and decide to buy it. When you are at the store, another customer whispers in your ear that the exact same car is on sale for $29,700 at another store, just 15 minutes away. Will you make this 15-minute trip? I'll give you the same 30 seconds to answer. What is your answer? In this case, most people say they wouldn't. But what is going on here? Are 15 minutes of your time worth 10 bucks but doesn't worth 300? There is one explanation: relativity. we look at our decisions in a relative way and compare them locally to the available alternative. We compare the relative advantage of 50% off pizza with 1% off car. But as you noticed, in absolute terms, the discount value of the car is much greater than the pizza. Similarly, we find it easy to spend $2,000 to upgrade to leather seats when you buy a new $30,000 car, but difficult to spend the same amount on a new leather sofa, even though we know we will spend more time at home on the sofa than in the car. At this point, I think you have already figured it out that we are surrounded by this kind of situations, right? I mean, situations that are put in a way that lead us to a certain decision. So, is there something that we can do about it? Before answering that, I ask you to leave in the comments if you already have been through this kind of situations where relativity may have tricked you. And if you haven't yet, I ask you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This is supporting the creation of more content like this. Okay, first of all, on the bright side, relativity is necessary because it eases our decision-making process. We like to make decisions based on comparisons. Imagine that you had only one option to buy a vacation package, for example. You will probably need to do a lot of research and spend a lot of time deciding if it's a good offer or doesn't. The counterpart is that we may be driven to choose something that may be not suited to our best interests. This is why knowing and being conscious that this kind of situation happens is already a great help, because we start to look at things, proposals and offers in a different manner, because now we are looking for an absolute advantage instead of a relative one. I hope you found this video relevant, and if you want to see another great one, I'll leave with this one right here. Don't forget to share this video with the people who think it will be useful. Be safe guys, and stay tuned.